What is up, everyone? Today is Tuesday, which means that it's time for another live Q&A. As always, I'm your host, Paul J. Lipsky. Here in this channel, I talk a lot about how to dropship onto different marketplaces like eBay and Facebook Marketplace. We talk a bit about Amazon on this channel. So if you are interested in that, make sure to subscribe and make sure to check out some of my videos. Then if you have any questions about dropshipping that you want some clarification on, come to one of these live streams. I do them every single Tuesday at 4 p.m. Eastern time for all of you. Come ask your questions in the live chat, and I will do my best to answer those questions for you. All right, let's get right into it. Actually, before we do that, in the description of this video are links to a bunch of free resources for you. I have a guide there on the best suppliers that I recommend for dropshipping and another one for the best software for dropshipping. Make sure to get all of them. They're completely for free. Just go down to the description, click the link, and I'll send you a copy of those ebooks directly to your email. All right, let's jump into the chat now and see who's here. I know some people like to check in. We are it is a very busy time of the year right now for us online sellers. With Christmas coming up, this is crunch time when we're making a lot of money selling products online. But I do know a lot of you like to still check in during the live streams as well. So let's see what we got here. We have Adil. Abdil, what's up? I'm doing good, man. Thanks for being here. All right. Cantaste says, I got my first 3 sales, but all 3 of them had issues with stocking or price issues. Do you use Walmart Marketplace sellers' items or only items sold by Walmart when using Walmart? Thanks. All right. Good question, Cantaste. So let me break this down for you. When you are starting out dropshipping from Walmart onto like eBay, I recommend that you only stick to items that are actually sold by Walmart. What most people don't realize is that Walmart is also a marketplace, meaning that third-party sellers like you and I, we can actually apply to to sell things on Walmart the same way we sell things on eBay or Amazon. Now, generally speaking, it is much harder to get approved by Walmart than it is to sell on other marketplaces like eBay or Amazon. This is why I've never really talked about it on the channel because of how difficult it is. And to add insult to injury, a lot of dropshippers who started dropshipping onto Walmart, I would say it lasted for about 8 months a few years back. And then pretty much overnight, almost all of them got kicked off of Walmart for doing it. Yes, some people are still doing it. Yes, they're making money with it. But overall, it's just very difficult to do. So here in this channel, I like to not only talk about the different e-commerce businesses that I've run, but I also try to be realistic with you. And I try to only show you the ones that I really think that you as a beginner would actually be able to do. I don't think Walmart's one of those options. I think for most people, you're looking at selling on marketplaces like eBay and on Facebook Marketplace. All right, so let's go over here to Walmart and let me show you what I mean. So right here, if we're looking at, let me go back there. If we're looking at the search results page, like I typed in here home goods, you're going to see that some of them here say save with Walmart Plus, save with Walmart Plus. That generally means that these are sold and shipped by Walmart. So if we open this one up, sold and shipped by Walmart.com. Generally speaking, if it doesn't have that, then that is a marketplace seller. So these ones don't have that one. This says sold and shipped by whatever company this is. Okay. So generally speaking, when you're a new seller, I would stick with only the items that are sold and shipped by Walmart. So again, a fast way to see that is to check for the Save with Walmart Plus icon. Now, we're not going to be using Walmart Plus. We are only going to, because if you use Walmart Plus, Walmart will shut down your Plus account. So only just have a regular Walmart account. But this is what we use to indicate to us that these items are shipped and sold by Walmart. Same thing for Amazon as well. With Amazon, if it says it's eligible for Amazon Prime, that means it's being shipped by Amazon. That is what we want. It doesn't necessarily have to be sold by Amazon, but we want it to be fulfilled by Amazon. If it has that Prime logo, that means you're in good shape. But again, you're not going to actually use Prime. We just use that as an indication that it is being fulfilled by Amazon. Now, as for the other part of your question, you had some issues with stocking and repricing. So for that, I would make sure, I'm not sure if you are, but I would make sure that you are using a stock and repricing software like Autods, because with Autods, this software, once you set it up and actually get your products into here, what it will do is if the price of this item changes on Walmart, well, then Autods will update the price on your eBay store. If this item goes out of stock in Walmart, it will put the item as out of stock in your eBay store. So this is what you want. The only place where this really fails, so this can fail for a few reasons, but the primary reason it fails is, let's say someone orders this item from you off of eBay, and then you don't go and actually order that item for 12 hours. And then during those 12 hours, the item goes out of stock on Walmart. So that's what you want to avoid from happening. So that's why I suggest you place orders twice a day, once in the beginning of the day, once at the end of the day, or sometime in the afternoon, so that you're placing orders more frequently and this item doesn't go out of stock before you get a chance to order. Quite frankly, when I was first starting out, I was so afraid of this and because I didn't have a lot of orders, every time I got an order that came in, I would just place the order right away. I would stop what I was doing because I had the app on my phone, the eBay app. It would say, hey, you got an order. I would stop what I was doing, jump onto my computer, and actually fulfill that order right then and there. That way, I just made sure that the item wouldn't go out of stock. And kind of a follow-up question to that. Speaking of, Cantaste says, I know you said Walmart will close your account for using Walmart Plus, but do they just close the Walmart Plus part, or do they ban our whole account? Can I just cancel it myself? Only made 2 orders. Yeah, they just close the Plus account, the Plus part of your account. But if you want to avoid any sort of issues, it's free to create a new Walmart account. So you can just create a new Walmart account that doesn't have Plus on it, because even if you cancel it, it's still going to be up for until the end of your billing cycle. So you might just want to create a new Walmart account to avoid any issues. All right, Lorenzo says, sorry I missed you last week. I had a cold. I was scared it might be coronavirus, and I didn't want you to catch it from me. Paul, I still watch the show. Big thumbs up. All right, appreciate you, man. Lorenzo says, even though we don't have the blue buy now button, my virtual assistant kept on working, putting up listings. Paul, do you think they're banned us for that? Okay. So I think what Lorenzo's saying is that, so I'm not totally sure what your question is. Okay. All right. I got it. So what Lorenzo's saying is something happened to his original Facebook account that he was using for dropshipping onto Facebook Marketplace. Something happened to it. It got hacked, actually. So yeah, I'll talk about that in a second. So then he created a new Facebook account, and that new Facebook account doesn't have the shipping option. So he wants some advice on that. So a couple of things I want to break down about that. The shipping option. On Facebook, when you're selling on Facebook Marketplace, what you want is the shipping option. So what that means is that when customers are looking through for items to purchase, they can actually place the purchase directly on Facebook by clicking this big blue button that says buy now. They enter in all their credit card details, and then you get the shipping address to actually ship the item to the customer, right? That's what you want, because then the payment can be made directly on Facebook with the lowest amount of roadblocks for customers to get over in order to pay you, right? You want it to be as easy as possible for customers to pay you. The easiest way to do that is directly on Facebook, integrated with Facebook Marketplace. That is called the shipping option. Not all accounts have it, but generally speaking, most accounts will have it as long as you're here in the United States and it's not a brand new Facebook account. So Lorenzo, because you have a brand new Facebook account, that's why you don't have the shipping option. You have to wait. There's no rule of thumb for how long it takes before the shipping option is unlocked for you. So you just kind of have to wait it out, unfortunately. Or use a friend or family member's account to drop ship on and give them a cut of the profit, split the profit with them or something like that. Now, you got hacked. Hacks happen, right? And Facebook accounts are targets for hacks. So I really encourage you all to use really good practices when it comes to your accounts, eBay, Facebook, Amazon, all of these things. Your password, you want it to be a password you don't use for any other accounts. Anytime you use a password online, it should be a unique password that you don't use for any other website. So you can use a password manager to keep track of all of them. So I use one called Bitwarden. There's other ones out there. Like if you have Apple products, you can use the one built into Apple products. I think it's called Keychain or something like that. That's a pretty good one as well. That way, you only need the one password to get into the password manager. And then that password manager saves all the passwords for all your other accounts, right? That's a really important step to have. And the second thing you really want is you want 2FA turned on for whatever services offer it, two-factor authentication. That's when you try to log in with your username and password, and then you get a notification saying, hey, you can't finish logging in until you give us a code that was emailed to you, or give us a code that was texted to you. At a minimum, you want that 2FA set up. And ideally, you want it to be through like an authenticator app, like Google Authenticator. So make sure you have those set up. Facebook has the options for those. That way you can really protect yourself from getting hacked and from that happening in the future. What is up, Robert Porter? Good to see you again, man. Othman says, how can I stock my products in eBay's warehouse and have eBay start shipping the orders? Did eBay have this service? So this is what you're asking for is what Amazon has. So with Amazon, what you can do is you can get all the products you want to sell and ship them into Amazon's warehouses. Then when the items sell, Amazon will fulfill the orders and actually ship the items to the customers, right? That's called Amazon FBA or fulfilled by Amazon. I do this with online arbitrage. It's very similar to drop shipping. I don't talk about it much on the channel because really I learned it all from my friend Steve. So if you're interested in that, check out Rake and Profit, his YouTube channel. But that's how you can do it on Amazon. eBay had talked in the past about doing a service like that, but I haven't heard an update about that for a long time. So my guess is they never really got it off the ground because I haven't heard anything about it. So pretty much no, the answer is no, that eBay doesn't offer that service. That's why we do dropshipping. And quite frankly, for most beginners, dropshipping makes a lot more sense because with that model I just explained on Amazon, if you have money, it's a great model. But if you don't have money, then you can't order all those items up front. And you don't have to with dropshipping. With dropshipping, you just have to order one item at a time as the orders come in. So it kind of really reduces the risk by a lot when you're doing dropshipping compared to like a normal e-commerce business where you have to buy inventory up front. Dale says, do you know anything about the history of dropshipping? Where did it or when did it begin? I guess so-called flipping got adapted to the internet. Did you get into it during its infancy? So believe it or not, dropshipping has been around for a really, really long time, even before the internet existed. And that's because dropshipping was done even back like through magazines, for instance. So, you know, if you ever gotten like a magazine in the mail, like I remember we used to get these around Christmas. We would get these magazines in the mail, like really big magazines full of lots of products. I used to go through and circle everything that I wanted. Well, if you actually ordered something from those magazines, most of the products were actually drop shipped, meaning that someone just took a bunch of items from different suppliers, put them into this catalog, and they were kind of like the middleman. Like they did the marketing, and then when orders came in, they just forwarded the orders to the correct warehouse or distributor. So yeah, drop shipping has been around for a really, really long time, well before I was born. But obviously, once the internet came about, and I think once people started selling products online, my guess is that it started pretty soon. I think that people figured out how to do this pretty soon after online marketplaces showed up. Okay. Cored says, what's the best way to scale my dropshipping business, specifically with Facebook Marketplace? Is it hiring a VA, creating multiple accounts? Whatever that means. Is having multiple accounts even necessary for scaling? So I wouldn't recommend trying to create multiple Facebook accounts for Facebook Marketplace dropshipping because of what I was talking about with Lorenzo, because new accounts are not going to have that shipping option. So it's not going to work to have multiple Facebook accounts, really. And I don't even think it's totally necessary. With Facebook Marketplace dropshipping, really it just comes down to adding more products that people want to buy. So that means spending the time doing the product research or having a virtual assistant do it, excuse me, and then actually adding those items into your store. The more items you have, the more you're going to sell. So that's really it. Like, that's how you scale up. It's just by adding more products. Hey, what's up, George? Good to see you again. Hey, what's up, Jim? Okay, Dale says, based on your experience, do you warn buyers that they may not get their items in time for Christmas? Around what time? Yeah. This is something that I always do about 1 week before. If you're super cautious, even like a week and a half before, which is about a week away at this point, end of next week. It is a good idea to be able to do this. So what we start to do is when an order comes in, we send a message right away saying, hey, thanks for your order. We just want to let you know that per our shipping policy, this item may not come in time for Christmas. We just want to give you a warning about that. It might come in before Christmas, but it might not. So we just have a template for that, and we send that starting about 1 week before Christmas actually hits. And it's a little bit more complicated now because Christmas is on a Monday, so the weekends kind of slow. The companies still ship on the weekends when it comes to Christmas, but really that's going to mess things up a bit too. So yeah, we start sending that out about a week before. And most people realize that, but some people will cancel, which is just, part of it. How do I know if eBay slowed my sales? And what's your advice with new campaign advertising program? I'm not sure what you mean. If eBay slows your sales, then wouldn't you know that that your sales have gone down? But to answer, I guess, the second question, when it comes to advertising with eBay, the only thing I recommend that you use are promoted listings. They work really well, and you don't have to pay any money up front. It's just a campaign that you run. If people click on it and buy, then eBay will charge you a fee, promoted listing fee, but you're gonna increase the price of your items to compensate for that. So it's a really good way to do it because, again, you don't have to spend the money up front on advertising. You only actually spend the money if someone clicks and buys. George says, hey, Paul, I live in New York. What times are good to list an item onto Facebook Marketplace and eBay? So I haven't found that there's a better time to list on eBay over another. I don't really see that. With Facebook Marketplace, I have a theory. I don't really have good proof on this, but I have a theory that it's better to list items during times of the day when people are going to be on Facebook Marketplace looking for stuff. So that's going to be during like lunch break hours. So think like 1 o'clock or so. And then after work hours and like after dinner, once people are settled in, like maybe 7 o'clock or so. But I don't know if it really makes a big difference. Like, who really knows, right? Okay, Tyler says, I found wholesalers I want to use for dropshipping. Is there an easier way to update the inventory and prices of those items other than literally going to the website every day and checking each item? All right. There's a few options for you, Tyler. None of them are probably what you're looking for. So when it comes to dropshipping, if you're using retail websites like Walmart that I showed you before, then anytime you list an item using Autods, it will update the item on eBay if the item on Walmart goes out of stock or if the price changes. Now, there is software that exists like that for wholesale, but it's not great software. The software is called Inventory Source. I'm going to pull it up. It's called Inventory Source. It's like the best you're going to get. It works with like a lot of different suppliers, but it might not even work with the supplier that you found. And it tends to be pricey as well. I think it's something like $100 per supplier per month. So if you have like 3 suppliers, that's like $300 per month. So you can see it adds up quite quickly. Generally, if you're going to use them, I would recommend you don't use them at first and just work with the supplier. And then if you see, oh, I'm making a lot of money with them, then you might want to start using Inventory Source because you've vetted out that it's worth it. But generally speaking, what I actually recommend that you do is you list the items up for sale. You have to do that manually or have a virtual assistant do it. And then we don't actually change the stock or price, the prices at all. We don't check them. But anytime an order comes in, we will make sure that the item's in stock, obviously, and we make sure that the price hasn't changed. If the price changes, then we update that item for the next sale. And really what you're going to see is that with wholesale drop shipping suppliers, the prices don't change that often, and the items don't go in and out of stock as often as they do with retail suppliers like Walmart, for instance. So it generally works a lot better than you'd think it would. The other resource you could look at is called SKU Grid. Let me pull it up for you. Now with SKU Grid, this is similar to Autods, like it works with a lot of those different websites like Walmart and Amazon, but it also works with some wholesale suppliers as well. I'm not the biggest fan of SKU Grid. It definitely works, and it definitely works with a lot of different suppliers, but it's harder to use than Autods, much, much harder to use. It's just a little bit too advanced, I would actually say. So just keep that in mind. Look to see if it works with the supplier you want, but otherwise, just use the method I told you about before. So similar question from George as before. George says, when should we look to stop making new sales before Christmas delivery cutoff, whether it be UPS, FedEx, or USPS? Same answer as before. Start sending that message out about 1 week before. Or if you want to be cautious, a little bit more, like maybe like a week and a half before. I don't turn off my sales in December. I know some dropshippers say that they do that. I think that's absolutely nuts. I think that's crazy. Like, this is a time when you can make a lot of money. So I wouldn't turn off sales at all, ever. Like, even if you go away on vacation, like have a virtual assistant do it. I just don't ever see the point of ever turning off sales in your store. Chevy Guy says, how long does it take to get your first Facebook Marketplace sale? And do they push your listings more after you make your first sale? It's really hard to say. I have students that have made their first sale their first day, and others that have taken them a little bit longer because they were having trouble finding items. They're not great at the product research and the optimization. It really depends on a lot of factors, but you could make your sale the same day that you start. So one thing you could do, George. So George says, what do we do with our existing listings to make sure no one makes any purchases that won't be able to be fulfilled before Christmas? So what you can do, George, again, I wouldn't turn off your sales, but you can go into the settings of your eBay account and go into your business policies and your shipping policy and increase the shipping and handling time if you're afraid of this. So I wouldn't do this now, but maybe again, like a week and a half before, increase the shipping and handling time so that any orders that come in, it says, or any listings of yours, it will say that the item will not be delivered until after Christmas. Then you can send the message to the customers reminding them of that. Say, hey, per our listing, this item may not arrive before Christmas. Do you still want to go through with the order? Okay, Joaquim says, On Autods, is there a specific setting to look at for auto inventory back up to 1? I have items that show out of stock on eBay. Unless I manually update the quantity, it will stay at 0. Yes, but it's on by default, so I don't know. I don't remember exactly where it is, but in the settings, I'm pretty sure there's an option for this where automatically what Autods does is anytime you sell an item on eBay, Autods will then put that item back into stock automatically. Now, there might be a slight delay on that, or there's also, I believe there's a setting that says put it back into stock, but after a certain amount of time, if I'm remembering correctly. I have to look at the Autods settings, but I believe that is how it's set up. George says, I heard a rumor that all your courses will be getting a major reboot come in January. Does that mean both your eBay and Facebook dropshipping courses? I haven't decided yet, George, but I do an update to the courses every year. So at the very least, there will be an update to the eBay and Facebook course next year. How much that is, that remains to be seen. We'll see. Dorito Driver says, what are some really good niches for eBay dropshipping right now? Definitely check out the video I posted last week and the video I'm going to post this week, because both of them, I do some product research in those videos and I show you some products that are hot right now. Actually, I posted 2 videos last week. I posted one and it did a live product research for you. Definitely check out those because both of those are going to show you what's hot and popular right now. You know, the answer is kind of always the same. You can go use a software like Zeek, and Zeek will actually show you which items are popular and trending and profitable right now, no matter what time of the year it is. So that's what I kind of covered in last week's videos. What is your favorite Pokemon? I'm a little boring. You know, I just like Charmander and Charizard and Charmeleon. Whenever I used to play Pokemon, those would always be the ones that I would pick first from, what was the name? Professor Oak. Just my favorites. Hey, what's up, Odema? Daniel says, how are some people selling on eBay for cheaper than Amazon? There's a few ways that's happening, but some of those people are the people selling on Amazon. And they're cross-selling on eBay, or they have the items in stock in their house and they're selling on eBay. So there's a few different ways that it could be happening. This is kind of why I recommend sticking to items that are over that $35 threshold for free shipping. Therefore, you're not doing like these really cheap items and kind of trying to do that race to the bottom. At what age should I start drop shipping? I mean, that's up to you. It's up to you. But you can create an eBay account at 18. Before that, you have to do it under a parent's name. So that means you don't have the shipping option. Yeah, so I don't know what's going on. You have to reach out to Facebook support on that one. Saz says, what do you think about doing print on demand on a platform like Shopify and using Google or Facebook ads to advertise the brand? I mean, go for it. I don't do print on demand. I think it's really cool. I have some friends that do it, but I don't have much experience doing it myself. I'm live from Colorado. Okay. How are you? I'm new to eBay, reselling, been doing it more and more. I'm just disappointed. What kind of program do you have and how much? I'm still trying to learn sell-through rate when I go to thrift stores. So I don't teach selling products from like thrift stores. I teach drop shipping. So drop shipping is when we're listing up products for sale on eBay. Then when they sell, we're just buying them directly from our suppliers, whether that's a retail supplier or like a wholesale supplier, and having these suppliers ship the items directly to our customers. So we don't have to go to thrift stores or source the products in that sense. We just have to list them for sale on eBay and then have our suppliers ship directly to the customers. If you want information about my courses, though, or my programs, just go to my website, dropshippingtitans.com, for more information about it. Or, again, description of this video are a bunch of free resources for you. So I have some free ebooks down there. Those might be a good place for you to start, actually. We don't exactly have proof of this, but general consensus, general belief is that once you start making some sales, your marketplaces do start pushing your products more and more. Okay, Lorenzo says Arbiship versus AutoDS. Doesn't Arbiship cost less money? So why would I pay more money for AutoDS? All right. So why pay more? Okay. So this is in reference to automatic ordering. When you get an order from your supplier, when you get an order on like eBay, if you want your items to automatically be ordered, so like a system, a software will automatically order the items from Walmart, for instance, and enter in the buyer's shipping address. If you want that to be automated, there is software that can do that. AutoDS is one of them. Another one is called Arbiship. Now, what's great about AutoDS is that you're probably already using it. Now, I don't do auto ordering, but when I've experimented with it, I always just use AutoDS because it's built in. It's already all set up. It's not another software that I now have to set up. But sure, if you want to do it and you want to try out Arbiship because it's cheaper for you, go ahead and give it a shot. I've only heard good things about both of them. So, in terms of, I would say I've only heard like equally good things about both of them. Why should I start dropshipping? I can't answer that question. Why do you want to start dropshipping? That's up to you. I mean, why is it that you would want to make extra money? Do you not want to work a traditional job? Do you want some side income? What is your why? I can't answer that for you. I know why I do this, but I don't know why you want to do this. That's totally up to you. I would actually try joining their Facebook group. There's like a Facebook Marketplace Facebook group and contacting them, the representatives in there. Well, I'm not going to check for you, but you can certainly look. But there's a problem with your account. That's why the blue button's not working. So again, check out the Facebook group for Facebook Marketplace. Yusa says, do you only talk about eBay? Do you think still can make money doing Amazon FBA? So is dropshipping easy? I meant. Sorry, I got something in my eye. My eyes are feeling a little dry. No, I don't just talk about eBay. I also talk about dropshipping on Facebook Marketplace. And I talk about Amazon FBA a bit too, because I do that as well. Again, all of them work, but with Amazon FBA, you need the money up front, right? You have to buy the products up front. So if you don't have that money, then dropshipping is a cheaper option and it's lower risk because you don't run the risk of buying a bunch of items that aren't going to sell like you would with FBA. Yeah, you do want to make sure that they're actually a wholesale supplier. I haven't run into that, so I'm not sure, but yeah, I would definitely check on that. All right, so that is all we got time for today. Everyone, thanks for all the great questions. If you enjoyed this and answer your question, make sure to give the video a thumbs up. Make sure to subscribe to the channel for more videos about dropshipping and on different marketplaces like eBay and Facebook Marketplace. Again, in the description of this video are a ton of free resources, so definitely check those out. Otherwise, I'll see you next week, right? Yes. We're not going to do one probably the day after Christmas, but we'll do one next week for the next live Q&A. So I'll see you then. Bye for now.